Hello, Reddit. I need to figure out a pretty weird situation. My name's Alex. I'm 32, and I work as a pet caretaker. Yeah, that's a real job. We go to rich people's houses when they're away and take care of their animals. Sometimes it's dogs, sometimes exotic birds, and sometimes, weirdly enough, the cats of former presidents. So a couple of months ago, I got a call from someone named Mr. Slade, a man with a voice like ice, who didn't fully introduce himself. He said he was looking for an experienced cat sitter, a special cat. Naturally, I was curious. Good job, high pay, just my thing. Then he added, "It's Donald Trump's cat. I hope you're okay with media attention and security." I thought it was a prank, but no. Within a week, I got documents, a 20-page NDA, the coordinates of a mansion somewhere in Palm Beach, and a personal pass to a gated residence that's not on any maps. Her name is Madame Priscilla, the cat, Persian, pure white, with eyes full of contempt. I'm not exaggerating. This cat had her own mini palace inside the house. I'm talking real luxury here, silk cushions, imported gourmet food costing $200 a bag, a personal chef, and even a TV that played Fox News on loop. Don't ask. I don't know why. Every morning, Priscilla got breakfast in a silver dish, salmon, shrimp, a touch of caviar. If the food wasn't heated to exactly 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, she would meow loudly and scratch at the door. Security would arrive in 10 seconds, check everything, and call the chef. She had a room bigger than my apartment, with a balcony, ocean view, and automatic air conditioning scented with lavender. Paw Spa. Spa days twice a week. But one day I started to wonder, does she really live in luxury, or is this just a facade? I began watching. Priscilla often sat by the window and stared into the distance. Sometimes she turned away from her food like she was bored. And one day, when I tried to play with her using a basic string mouse, she lit up, literally, jumping, purring, rolling on the floor. She was happy, like a regular cat. It was one of the strangest feelings I've had. Sadness. This cat, surrounded by luxury, lived in a cage. All she wanted was to play, run, chase a laser dot, but instead, silk, security, and caviar. I secretly started having cat adventures with her, played games, brought her cardboard boxes, let her climb the curtains. Don't tell Slade. She came alive. She meowed like a real cat, not like a queen. And then before I left, I got an anonymous letter in a golden envelope. Inside, a card with a thank you note that said, "Priscilla remembers you. She's free because of you. But let this stay between us." I haven't seen her since. Rumor has it she's now living on a farm in Vermont. No silk, no salmon, just grass, mice, and old chairs. And it seems like that's the real luxury. About 2 weeks after I got back from Palm Beach, things started getting strange. I thought the Priscilla story was over, a weird blip in my resume, something I'd eventually tell as a joke at parties. But then came the first package. No return address, just a small black box on my doorstep. Inside was a tiny gold bell, the kind you'd hang on a cat's collar. Engraved on the side, very faintly, was the letter P. I laughed it off. Thought maybe it was a weird coincidence or one of my friends messing with me. But then another package arrived, a small velvet pouch. Inside, a folded photograph. It showed Priscilla sitting on a sun-drenched porch surrounded by trees. She looked peaceful, free, and in the corner of the photo, I swear I could see something handwritten in red ink. She remembers. At this point, I started getting paranoid. I mean, Who was sending these? Was someone watching me? And most of all, why? I tried calling the number Mr. Slade used, but it was disconnected. The mansion? When I checked the coordinates again on Google Maps, the place was blurred out. Not just pixelated, erased, like it never existed. A few days later, I got another job offer. High pay, private client, discreet location. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. When I arrived, it was a quiet cabin near the Canadian border. Cold, remote. The man who greeted me looked like he stepped out of a spy movie. Black coat, dark glasses, earpiece. He didn't give me a name, just led me inside and said, "She's been expecting you." I thought he meant the client. But no, it was Priscilla. She was there, sitting on a windowsill like nothing had happened, tail flicking lazily, eyes half closed. She jumped down, walked up to me, and brushed against my leg. That's when I realized this cat wasn't just any pet. There was something else. She was being moved, protected, hidden. I spent the next few days caring for her again, but now there were rules. No phones, no internet, no photos. I wasn't even allowed to write anything down. Everything felt secretive, like some underground feline witness protection program. Then, on the 4th, after that last letter, I tried to move on with my life. I took regular jobs, dog walking, feeding turtles for old ladies, even cleaned a parrot's cage for a week straight. Normal stuff, mundane, safe. But part of me stayed restless. I'd catch myself glancing at windowsills, expecting to see a flick of a white tail, or waking up from dreams where I was following Priscilla through hallways that bent in impossible angles, always just a few steps behind. Then, about 3 months later, I was contacted again. This time, it wasn't a call or a box. It was a woman, early 40s, sharp suit, sharper eyes, waiting outside my apartment when I came home. She said she worked for the Domestic Comfort Division. I asked if that was the CIA with a cute name. She didn't laugh, just handed me a sealed envelope. Inside, a plane ticket, one way. Destination, Istanbul. No explanation, no return date, just a sticky note attached. She needs you again. I don't know what compelled me to go. Maybe it was closure, maybe I missed her, or maybe I just needed to understand what the hell was going on. Istanbul was chaotic and beautiful. I stayed in a small, high-ceilinged hotel near the Bosphorus, where cats roamed the alleys like kings and queens. Every day I waited. No messages, no instructions. I started thinking it had all been a joke, or worse, a dead end. Until one night, while sipping tea on the hotel rooftop, I saw her, perched on the edge of a neighboring balcony, calmly licking her paw, was Priscilla. I froze. She looked up, met my eyes, and I swear to you, she winked. Within seconds, a man in a dark coat stepped into view behind her. He wasn't looking at me. He was watching the street. A black van idled below. Another figure on a rooftop across from mine held what looked suspiciously like binoculars. I realized I wasn't just watching a cat. I was witnessing an extraction. And then Priscilla leapt, gracefully, elegantly, from her perch onto a narrow awning and disappeared into the maze of rooftops. A shadow, slipping away into the night. I never saw her again. But back home, months later, I found something waiting for me. In my apartment, on my favorite chair, sat a cardboard box. Just an ordinary box. Inside, a well-worn toy mouse. The same one we used to play with back in Palm Beach. Its string frayed, one ear missing, and a note, handwritten in clean cursive. Luxury was never the palace. It was the freedom to knock things off the table. Thank you for remembering. No signature, just a single white paw print at the bottom. I don't tell this story often anymore. People either think I'm lying or that I've finally lost it. Maybe I did, but sometimes, when I hear the soft clink of a bell outside or catch the faintest scent of lavender on the breeze, I pause and I smile. Because somewhere out there, in the alleys of Istanbul, the farms of Vermont, or some high-security penthouse in a city we'll never know, Priscilla is living her ninth life the way she always wanted, untouchable, unbothered, and completely, unapologetically free.